Welcome to Surf Dudes with Attitude. This is Pete out of New York City. Gentlemen, all three of us, hello. It's good to be back.
Oh, and it's good to be had. How are you?
I'm well, Zach. Thank you for asking. I think it's been over a month since we've all been in the same virtual room together.
Yes, it is I, Zach, who asked the question. How are you? And George, how are you? Welcome back.
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It has not been a month. It has only been 2 weeks. I wasn't here last week. Or no,
but
Zach wasn't the week before, so it's been 3 weeks.
But the week before that, we had Mike Zucker on by himself.
Yeah, all by himself. We just made
I think it's been a month if my math's correct.
Well, absence makes the heart grow harder, as they say. So yeah. We are all here, fully erect and ready. Engorged.
If you will.
I'm conscious about my posture. I need to be erect. No slouching here.
No, we have a killer episode to talk about. So everybody get them bodies moving, because we actually have a new song in this fucking episode. Are you guys excited to talk about it?
Yeah, about time we get some music from this band, huh?
I was just thinking when Zach was talking about how we were erect, I was thinking love is not like this. Love is not like this.
Love is definitely not like an erect, postured penis.
Not on the radio, anyways.
So if you're just joining us, this is Surf Dudes with Attitude, where we like to break down every episode of California Dreams from a band perspective, a music industry angle, and how you mitigate certain issues when it comes to that. But we've been deprived the entire season basically of any kind of band stuff, and we hope and pray that is not going to continue, but we see the writing on the wall, and so we'll take what we can get.
We know a lot about being teenagers, at least, so this is what this podcast is slowly turning into. Not about reviewing their music, but reviewing their life choices.
Does 17 magazine have a podcast? They have to, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, before we started the show, we were really the only ones who didn't have a podcast.
That's true. We are officially the last people that didn't have a podcast. We've taken care of that.
And I imagine the overlap between 17 magazine podcast listeners and ours is probably immense. For sure. So everybody is just like rolling their eyes right now, going like, these boys.
If people are wearing Jenko jeans, why aren't they watching a 30-year-old television show that had 5 seasons and ran on teen NBC?
True enough.
So if we were a podcast that were like 17 and we were putting out content for teenagers, what would we be talking about?
Well, I mean, obviously we'd have gross out period stories at the end of every episode, like they did in every edition of that magazine.
It would have to be something like, is your boyfriend cheating on you? Some kind of a thing like...
Well, or it's like, how do I put on makeup? This is coming from 3 cis men who don't know what it's like to grow up as a female identifying person. So we pretty much are where you should come for that information.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. I do wear makeup a lot. I've learned a lot from 17-year-olds. Okay. Got that? You got that part? I mean,
Your Honor, I asked that to be stricken from the record. Do you think anybody under the age of 25 listens to our show?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, George has access to our stats and demographics, so I was really just asking Zach. Like,
no, I haven't looked into it, but I assume that no one under 25 is even aware of California Dreams and would have no reason to look up anything related to this television show.
Sure. I just got back from a little tour, and one of our fans came to the show, and he was like, hey, I listened to your podcast. I really like it, but I'm never going to fucking watch an episode of that show. So he's like, if you could be a little more descriptive of what's going on so I can follow along without actually investing 22 minutes each episode, that'd be great. Thanks.
Oh, man, I feel like we're so thorough already. But
no, I don't want to be more thorough. I think
he has higher expectations for the actual TV show.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe he doesn't know that. No, this what we say actually happened in the show.
It's gospel.
We're talking 3 times longer than the episode goes on for.
Exactly.
How can we be more thorough?
Yeah, because like when I'm writing notes and something dumb happens, like a gag happens, I literally don't write anything about it. I'm like, I'm going to throw this one to Zach. Like, I hope Zach remembers what goes on in this scene because I don't want to write it down. Like, I'm very specific. Like, if there's an amp in the room, like, fuck, I'm going to like research the shit out of it. But like, if there's some goofy hijinks with a typewriter, I'm just like, I don't care about this aspect
I got
of
those
the show.
Typewriter notes.
Also currency.
Cha-ching.
You missed the calling and banking because you're all about the currency also.
That's true.
Oh, I do love my inflation calculator. The free app, everybody.
Yeah. I hope we get to do some math this week.
Well, you're in luck. I don't know, but next week I think there's a math-centric episode coming up. So anyway, I'd say let's get to the episode. We got a lot to talk about. Zach, are you ready?
Oh, baby.
If you're not, I can take a drink and wet my whistle.
I'll wet mine as well. Might as well.
We're just gearing up for this.
There's going to be a lot of talking, isn't there? I think it'll be a regular amount of talking.
Well, I was waiting for your catchphrase so we can jump in, so I can put the music cue in.
No. Yeah, I should just Steele's lead microphone. Let's do it.
Nice. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Were you doing? I'm sorry. Were you doing that thing where you're starting at the front of the stage like Matt does in this episode?
Yeah.
And okay,
yeah, I was doing it. This
is a visual thing. I fucking love
so
it.
Those who couldn't see me, who might not be watching this or are vision impaired, I was doing a Matt impression. Roughly.
Yes, beautiful impression.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Although today I am dressed with an homage to Tiffany's show outfit.
Okay, in the first scene, right?
In the first scene.
Okay,
now, hers is a
billowy.
jumper. I wish mine was. This is just a flouncy blouse that I've knotted as she did.
I love it. The pink undershirt too. It's so nice.
Thank you very much.
So yes, we're gonna start at Sharkies, and this episode is fucking front loaded with stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we can do like the first 8 minutes, and then we can be like, anyway, then other stuff happened.
I hated the rest of this episode, but the first 8 minutes were great.
Oh yeah.
And so we start off with the band is playing "Love Is Not Like This." Sly is running through the audience and getting slapped by multiple women.
He's like whispering stuff into their ear, and then their response is to slap them.
What could you possibly say that fast to get you slapped? It's got to be awful.
Gotta be awful. That was my first thought too. There's like, this is cartoonish, and we're supposed to think this is funny that he's getting slapped, but like to warrant physical reaction, it's got to be terrible.
Yes. George has chimed in and said he's probably asking to see their feet, since we have established in episode 5 that Sly is a foot fetish.
That's true.
So he would have to say, in something that fast,
he'd have to say something really gross about their feet, though, not just,
like,
hey, I need to see your feet.
Can I lick your feet? But even that, somebody would be like, wait, what? Like, so it would have to be more direct and more gross.
Yeah, disgusting.
I don't use your imagination.
Yeah, I have plenty of ideas, but I don't want to express them.
Oh yeah, I don't want to put words into the man's mouth. You know, he's an auteur, he's an actor. He's pantomiming. Okay, so he probably didn't say anything. He's just hitting his cue, hitting his mark.
Nothing in that script except the action.
Did you shut up, George? Anyway, we forgot to mention at the beginning, if you guys want to support us on Patreon so you can see Zach's blousey
Blouncy blouse, baby. Blouncy blouse.
That's your Austrian name over there.
You remember?
That's the person that dubs you in the German version of our podcast.
Yeah, very kind.
CaliforniaDreamsPodcast.com will take you to Patreon, and that you can support the show that way. SurfDudesWithAttitude.com is everything else. So please check that out. P.S. You can put toes in my mouth. That is a contender for what Sly might have said in this. Anyway,
that's very good. Yeah, and if anybody has any other suggestions on what he might have said or other things that you'd like to say or ask, you can email us as well.
You can just email just that with no context. That would be great.
No name, no subject. I guess you got to put something in the subject. Can you put emojis in the subject?
It can be no subject. It's Gmail. So that's surfdudeswithattitude at gmail.com. Just send us crass things.
Okay. And then, we won't get them because this will air a few weeks after we do this. And we'll be like, why are people emailing us just disgusting things? We'll forget.
Who can I slap for this?
I don't know who this is, but I've just got the biggest urge to slap them.
Did you think that when they were playing Love Is Not Like This and then Sly is hitting on these women, do you think that they were saying, that's not love? Love is not like this, and that's why they were slapping. Did you think that there was a song choice there for what Sly was doing? The answer is no. But I'm gonna propose it anyway.
I like it. I did feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, love is not like this. Could they have chosen another song? I don't know. What other song could they have done there?
I think they might have.
This was perfect.
None of it, but
love is not like this.
I think they just chose that because they're on a cycle, and they hadn't played that song in a little while. So, I was just so dumbfounded at so they play the song and then they finish it up and they awkwardly just stand there, and I was like, are they done? Because Tony stands up. And I think maybe he thought they were done, but I think because he wanted to say a line. There's clapping, but then they're like, do we do it? Is this their encore? They're talking amongst themselves about what song to do, but they're like, everyone's being mean to Sly. Let's dedicate a song to him. Right?
Yes, Samantha wanted to. Because they're like, the crowd is loving them a lot, and they're like, oh, this is great, the crowd loves us, too bad they hate our manager. And Samantha's like, he's not bad, I actually feel kind of bad for him.
And that's all Sly needs to hear to garner that this girl's in love with him.
Exactly.
He's a girl
dedicates this next song to him.
A woman was kind to him, so obviously she wants to have massive amount of toe sex with Sly.
Big time.
Don't treat women like that. Don't treat anybody like that. Sly's
a slime ball.
This is a bad episode for Slycopath. That's what
every episode that centers around Sly is terrible. And we've gotten two in a row.
This one's especially bad. This one somehow topped his racist tirade when he met Sam. So he still has a thing for Sam. He basically has a thing for anybody in that room upstairs. It was Jenny before, and now it is Sam. He had a brief thing with Tiff, and I thought throughout this episode it was strange that
excuse me, do you have a songbird out your window? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Is it singing "Love Is Not Like This"? Because yes. I told it too.
Oh, this is amazing.
I do have the window open. It's a very nice New York night.
It's not added in.
It's not
for any of you listeners thinking that we're just adding ambiance.
No, that fucker wakes me up every morning. So yeah.
Oh, what's its name?
Oh my god, I didn't name it. What should we call it? We have Sharky the duck. I don't want to name it after Sly. We can name it Dick Garrison. Maybe because I think this might be one of his last episodes. So,
and we've been saying that for a while.
I know we have. I'm really sorry too.
I keep seeing him, and I'm happy to. I like their parents.
I love their parents.
As far as show parents go, these are great.
Are you saying it's better than Pa in Little House on the Prairie?
I would never say that. I would never besmirch
I didn't say
the
besmirch, but I'm saying
legacy of
if you
Michael
rather
Landon.
if you had
All right.
one parent, would it be Michael Cutt or Michael Landon?
I mean, Landon, come on.
Okay, wow, Highway to Heaven. That guy.
They both were 27 when they're at the peak of their recording.
27 Club.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Okay, sorry to interrupt you.
no, it's okay. I don't
the
remember
bird
what
was
I was
doing
saying.
it, and there's at least one listener that's like, "Yeah, I did hear that bird." Thank
think
you
we have any-
so much.
Do you think we have any birder
You're welcome.
listeners? Those people that hear them and they're like, I know that's a titmouse breasted
Absolutely.
jay, right? Okay.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah, I think this Venn diagram of like California Dreams, 17 Magazine, and Birder is just like it's there. It's there. They're loving it. This is their favorite episode so far. You're welcome.
Thank you. I mean, yes, thank you. Yes, you're welcome.
I mean, yeah.
So what our lovely Zach did earlier when he was starting off the show, he started counting. So they decide on a song. We've asked George to find out the song because I didn't write it down or look it up. Unfortunately,
Hey Baby
but
is what I've been calling it in my notes, but it's only because that's a returning.
Well, that has to
refrain.
be, yeah. So they decide to play this song, which we'll call "Hey Baby" for now. And Matt, I don't know what is Matt singing in this. Doesn't he have a microphone? Otherwise, he
does.
goes up to.
It's so goofy. Yeah, he does. Because, like, she's like, "No, I feel bad for him." They have this little conversation on stage, which is
In
like
front of everybody.
making fun of their manager, who is definitely sexually harassing women in this at
Yes.
their show.
Uh-huh.
They're making fun of him on stage, and then she's defending him in front of everyone, and then dedicating the song to Sly.
Okay.
And then Matt grabs the microphone back from Samantha after she's just dedicated the song to Sly. And then he's like, "All right, let's do it." Hands it back to her while he's walking back around the keyboard. He starts counting in the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets to the keyboard and he starts the song by himself. There is no reason for him to count on.
I didn't even notice that. That's because I did
There might
write
be a
down.
light symbol that happens, but also that doesn't like you don't have to yell a count off if it's just you and a symbol. You can kind of. It was a lot.
I've noticed every time Matt does the start, he doesn't ask everybody if they're ready, and that would be. I get it. It's like a TV show. You got to cut corners, but it would be a very nice touch to be like, just give the head nod, like, guys, cool, here we go. I'm gonna start the beat.
Yeah.
But the 1, 2, 3, 4, it's always
While
the same.
he's still
It's-
walking to his instrument.
Okay,
Like, that would
taking that out of account. Every time he starts the tempo, it's the same tempo. It's always like 120. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. No matter if, and then they do a super slow ass song. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bum, and it drives me fucking crazy because like
know.
who has a. This guy's got bad rhythm over here, okay? Like,
Yeah.
I've sometimes, like, started stuff off and the drummer just looks at me like, I got it, okay? Like, it's
Yeah.
like all your accounts are the same. But
And
yeah,
I have done this. I have definitely like gotten in the habit of counting off, or I'm just like get lost in it and I start like counting off a song.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm starting this song by myself. I don't need to count myself in.
But everybody in the audience thinks you do now, so.
Yes, exactly. So I can't ever stop.
Well, it's just, I love that it's like they only have
I
one
love it.
take.
And then yeah, he has his own microphone, so there was not like it's really low. I had to go back and look at it, and he does have his own microphone, but it is low, and he's singing backup vocals for this song.
That doesn't mean you
Some of
sing
the time
4
he's got
feet
his
back.
hands up. I don't know if you noticed that, but like he's doing backup vocals and he's got both hands just to the sky.
What, like he's at a revival? At like an
Yeah.
evangelical concert?
Yeah.
He's just praising the Lord?
It's great. It's great.
I mean,
He's-
I would say as a keyboard player, that might be detrimental to what you're doing.
yeah, I don't think he's playing any more than Jenny ever used to.
Okay.
The song's called Handle It With Care, George just said. Thank you. So not
Oh,
Hey
it's-
Baby.
It's
handled
erect
with care.
and you handle it with care. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's a new song.
That's right.
We have not heard this song, and again,
notes.
I think Sly takes it the wrong way, of course, because he can't read cues at all. Although it is interesting in this episode. It's later, but he says he was born without a conscience. And I was wondering if, like, do you think, according to the DSM-4 that was out at this time,
Yeah.
because that sequel's coming anytime now. It's like the new Game of Thrones book. Like, it's going to come out. Do you think Sly has, like, a sociopathy complex? Like, do you think he's a true sociopath?
Like, legitimately.
Yeah. Oh, we should get a doctor on here and fucking diagnose him. Oh my god, that would be so
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, they'd have to watch a lot of it.
Too bad. We love it. We should get our fan that doesn't watch any of the show to like
Yeah.
diagnose him.
Whoa, Tony's a doctor now. George just said we should get Tony on to do it. He's a doctor now.
Well, he could be a podiatrist. Like, is he like a mental health doctor?
Hey, we'll take what we can get.
He sucks on toes.
Whoa! Tony, get that out of your mouth. We can't hear you.
I love that you're dressed like this.
Thanks.
Everybody's outfits in this first scene are out of fucking control. Like,
They're great.
Sly's outfit, Tony's outfit is always good. I did notice the jumper that Tiff was wearing. It was fucking great.
It's great.
Sam was looking great in this.
Fantastic.
I just gotta say,
Had a nice black beret.
And like the nice belly shirt. She's got the peace sign on. That is just so fucking 1993. And that's when this came out. October 9th, 1993. I actually think, while they're playing this song, that Jake is actually playing the chords. Because we've seen him go fucking ham on the chords. But he nails the solos. But he's doing it at least consistently. And I love his solos where he does the little kicks and stuff and he does the little fucking arm jerks. It is. Oof. I look forward to it. I get erect. It's the best.
He's got his little mouth his mouth he holds in a certain way.
Like he's holding like a piece of straw.
Like he's he's paying attention. He's got to get each note just right.
He's so animated. He's hot dogging.
Do you find yourself missing Matt soloing?
No.
Ever? No, you don't?
I don't know. Because like comparatively, he's like not as fun to watch playing guitar. But like Jake overdoes it. So I'm like, I gotta go with that. You know? Like the only time I liked Matt when he was playing was ironically during Love Is Not Like This when they're the California Nightmares. Otherwise, it's just like a dinky solo.
Yeah, I guess I feel like maybe I just miss Matt doing it.
Do you think like
I like Jake? I like Jake.
I know. He's new. I get it.
He's new. I'm still warming up to the guy.
Yeah, I get it. Do you think?
And I do feel like the way that Matt synced up to it looked closer like he was playing it. I think Jake got all the notes right, but the way that he's like doing the exaggerated vibrato and like the exaggerated movements is like he's not getting those notes out. He's hitting the notes. I believe he learned the solo, but that solo does not sound the way that it did.
No, for sure. You're right. There's a lot of vibrato.
Yeah.
How do you think though? Like logistically speaking, when he was given this stuff, do you think he was given tablature? Because like this is something I want to ask him. Like, well, we're gonna hopefully get J. Anthony Frankie on this show and like ask him these hard-hitting investigative journalist questions. Do you think when he was given these solos that he was given tablature, or he was given like notation, or they're like learn it by ear? Like,
That's a good question.
Who's writing the tablature? It's got to be the guy. Do you think it wasn't done through there wasn't really a machine that could do it back then. There wasn't a computer program. I don't think like somebody was writing this out freehand.
Well, this is a naive question. When, I mean, tablature's been around for a long time, right?
It has, yeah.
And so, it was very popular when we were kids. You think they? I don't know. It was 30 years ago. Was it? Were more guitarists reading notation or like chord, like charted, but
I think
not
charts. I think because like there's always dummies in music, like me and you, and I don't know. You
You're
don't.
right.
We don't. I think we spoke about. You don't know how to read music
No,
either.
I
right?
read music like a kindergartner. Like I can sound
Same.
it out.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Yeah. Like I know how, but it's not. I can't.
Like to this day,
shit.
every good boy deserves fudge. Like if I'm looking at a piece of paper with notes on it, I still do not know this by heart. So
Yeah.
tablature has always been the way for me. Learning by ear has always been the way for me. Like learning some variation by ear and then finding the right notes and being like, "Well, I fuck that up." But I'm definitely curious because like I don't think any of the California Dreams actors wrote any of these songs. I think they might have played them sometime, but they're not on the official album, and I don't think they're definitely not playing live. All this stuff is all overdubbed. So somebody's playing this solo far away from Burbank Studios, and then they're giving the band it to mime. So, and I guess every week Tiff's transcripts get lost in the mail because she does not bother to learn the song. So, what are you looking at?
I apparently tablature's been common since the Renaissance and Baroque eras. So
Wait. Really?
yeah, I didn't know it was that. Like
Somebody's writing out lute pieces?
yes,
Is that what you're telling me?
saying. That is when it started. There's an example right here. Of
It's the Picasso piece. Like somebody has tabbed out that Picasso picture with the guy on the guitar.
Yeah, what is he playing on his broken strings? What strings are left?
He's playing
None,
something
I believe.
Baroque. That's what he's doing.
That's right. That's why he's so sad. Oh,
So I did. Speaking of messing up, Tony is missing every crash hit in this song I saw, and he's usually fucking dead on. But every
I
time
think Matt's doing it on his keyboard.
Fuck you.
I think because he counts in and he starts by himself, and I think he's starting with this hand doing some cool little keyboard shit, as they call it, and then with his other hand he's got a split, and he's like,
No. You really
Okay.
think that like the last like 8 notes of the keyboard? I mean, look,
I'm defending Tony. I don't think that.
I'm just saying Tony's always killing it. But I did
is.
notice he missed the crash cymbal every time. That's all.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
when we get him on to talk about Sly and his mental health, I want to know about the crash cymbal. Okay, I don't think that's a lot to ask.
No, fair. All right.
And you
But
can't
I
butt
also-
in and tell him he doesn't have to answer. Okay,
but when we get Brentley Gore on, all right,
Yes.
we're gonna ask him. Hey, there were a few times where like we didn't know where the symbol was coming from, and because it
Yeah.
didn't look like Tony was doing
there
it.
is no
And
way
you
none
were
of
on
that shit is
keys.
plugged in. Yeah.
Do you remember that part? And he's gonna probably say he does, and that he
You
did.
think it haunts him, the fact that he started the count early before he was back at his keyboard as well.
Yeah, he's like he rushed it. He didn't have to. He had 2 seconds. He had
Look,
2
this is-
extra seconds. Maybe Sharky was back there just like reaching his hand ever
Sharky.
closer
Oh, are we ever going to see
to the to the
I think
power.
we're
that he
we're
was
gonna
about
see
to
Sharky
unplug the
again.
whole thing.
It's been a long time, though. We haven't seen him in a bit.
I don't know
but
if we're ever gonna see him.
I think we're going to see him again because there might be an episode coming up where they need to save the Sharkies, like much like the Saved by the Bell episode where they have to save the Max. Like it's it's bound to happen,
Okay.
and he has to be in that episode. But
Well,
I think this is
what?
I think this is a great time to reiterate our goal for the end of this season, like we just talked about. But we would like to invite Brentley Gore to Zach's house to help us play the California Dreams board game. So we
Yes.
need everybody to kind of start hashtagging this. We got to come up with a hashtag by the end of the episode about this. But I'd like to get him cross town. George
Brentley
and I are
Gore
gonna-
for president.
There it is. People will definitely know what we're talking about. George and I will fly down to Zach's, and we were going to play a 4-person California Dreams board game with Brentley Gore for the season 2 finale. So Put it on your radar. Thank you again.
Just consider it.
Um,
And then please do it.
did you notice something when? Oh, what were you saying? I interrupted you. My bad.
Oh, I think I pretty much missed the boat for the segue I was gonna say.
Okay.
But I
Well,
was
you
just
wanna-
gonna talk about. Dude, should I try?
Yeah, try it anyway.
Okay, cool. Well, you know who didn't suck?
Yes.
Oh, no, I mean who didn't miss a crash? Okay, I can't remember.
This is going well.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? It was great to see Samantha doing such a great job. She's a great singer and she's a great performer.
Mhm.
Very engaging. She worked the room. It
Yeah.
was nice to hear her sing a song that wasn't definitely from Jenny's point of view, singing longingly to Jake
Or her
about
brother.
a disapproving mother.
Maybe that's what the mom was disapproving of. Like, I can't have my children having sex together.
It's like, hey, stop singing romantic songs at each other at shows. It's weird.
It's just crazy that
They
the
did
one,
stop coming to shows. The parents
one-
haven't been to shows in a while.
I don't. I think the dad came to a show. Melody has never been to a show.
They both were at the birthday party.
They were at the birthday
at
party.
The very
It's the
first.
first episode, right?
Yep, they both came to that 16, the Sweet 16, and then Dad showed up to Sharkies the same time Tony's dad showed up back in
Yeah,
season
yes,
1.
I remember that one. Yep. Have the beat of his own drum, episode 3, everybody. Keep up. I just think it's crazy that the one person that could fill the void in that band happens to be the foreign exchange student that is now living in Jenny's room. So
Yeah,
it's just a nice fill in right away. I did notice that once they all got done, and you're right, Sam did a great job, they just kept their shit on stage. Tony got up with his fucking drumsticks, and they're immediately like, let's bounce. Does that mean they got paid beforehand? Does anybody have to get gear out of there? Because we know that place needs to be an arcade the next
Yeah.
day.
yeah. I think, well, the timeline's screwy. We don't know ever when things are taking place.
Yeah.
Sometimes it appears that they're the house band because they
Yes.
do things like this where they just kind of leave their things and then walk out. And then sometimes they don't have a show for a while, but they got to get that gig at Sharkies.
Sure.
So I think this is one of those weeks.
I
where they just-
will say it's some of the best shows I've ever played where you can just keep your gear there overnight, and it's rare.
Yeah.
But I remember every time we played Wisconsin, we played a really great place called the Gibson Music Hall. Shout out! And they get us a hotel that's literally like right next door, and they're like, "Just hit me up tomorrow when you want to leave, and I'll just let you in." And all of our stuff is still on. It's so nice.
That's awesome.
To get done playing and not have to immediately. It's great when you're headlining and you can just leave it there, but it's even better to not even have to do it that late at night. You can just go and party or
Yeah.
go in the hotel pool like we did. And the last time we were there, there was a junior bodybuilding championship going on. So we were walking around all these buff little boys.
The Buff Boys. Oh my
Buff
God,
Boys.
it's the Buff Boys. No way.
Yes.
Little Buff Boys.
Oh,
Did you
great.
have to judge them? Did you have to?
I mean, I was secretly judging all of them.
No.
Well, they're hulking around. And so I guess just to cap off the rest of this scene, we have another secret admirer of Tiffany. Again. So,
Well, and before they end, I just want to say, Matt.
I can try your segue again.
I missed it again. Dang it! I'll get it next time. No, there's no segue. This is just to say, Matt again has to go and grab the lead vocal mic from Samantha to say,
Yes.
thanks everybody for coming to the show.
Yeah.
When he had a perfectly good microphone right there behind the keyboard, but he had to. Everything must be.
He doesn't
Everything
like being,
important is said
doesn't
through
like
this
being-
wireless mic.
He doesn't like being in the background anymore, man. Like he's like he got pushed to the back. He got demoted.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it's like they're like, no, he still is the front man. He still says, "Let's do it." He counts the show, the songs off, whether he
counts
needs to or not,
his
and he
parts
thanks the
off.
audience. He thanks the audience. for
Everybody drive safe. Oh, That's a nice segue. So
fine.
we're gonna jump to the garage. Matt
Oh
is
yeah,
in there.
you did. Did you get out what you needed to about
Yeah, we'll get
Tiffany
to it.
having a secret admirer? All right.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Thanks. All right.
We're gonna go to the garage where Matt is on the couch. He's playing some chords. I don't know this song. Come on, he's playing E, A, B, and then some D's. What's he doing? Come on.
Damn, it's cooking. His right hand is going ham.
He
That's
does
for sure.
bar chords instead of the normal A.
Yeah.
I'm real impressed.
Yeah, he's been strengthening that grip.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You know, yeah, it was at this point that I was like, man, we got 2 songs
Yeah.
and Matt is working on another one right now. This is so much music. But I
You jinxed
reserved
it.
I reserved to getting too excited. Yeah. Because
You jinxed it right
knew
there. Thanks a lot, man. We're
This
gonna get
is my fault.
a full band-centric episode, and literally, we didn't even see him put the guitar down, but it's down. And for the rest of the episode, 0 band talk.
He never
So,
picks it up. He doesn't care about music the rest of this episode.
Not the way we do. We care about California Dreams.
Yeah.
We're
we do.
gonna see you, Brentley Gore. We're gonna fucking beat you at this board game too.
Yeah, we are. I've been practicing.
You're the only one. You have an edge. So,
No.
yeah, because of the secret admirer, we have a silly B plot with Tony and Jake pretending to be Tiffany's bodyguards because I guess this person said in the secret admirer. Oh my God, I can't even get through this. This is one of the things I just want to throw to you. But he has a poem that doesn't rhyme, and he says, "I'm going to give you a series of gifts." Which is the same thing happened. Could it be Dennis again? We don't know.
I, for a moment, hoped it would be.
Oh my God, what a reunion that would be. But
That'd be cool.
Sly comes in. He's upset because his parents are going somewhere and they're shipping him off to his grandmother's. And this is not the first indication that Sly has parents, but it's definitely jarring to hear him talk about it. Because if he is the Garrison's neighbors, it seems odd that they wouldn't at least ask the Garrisons to take care of him. Now that they have all this room in their house because the mom and Dennis have been killed off.
Exactly.
So he's basically he hears that Sam comes in. She's real busy, and she's like, "I can only hang out if somebody. The only people going to see me are going to be people that live here." So he gets an idea, and he sneakily cons his way into having the Garrisons adopt him for a couple days.
So he can bother Samantha for the week.
Is putting it lightly, but it was weird here because Sam was like, I got this 10-page paper, I gotta go. I can't spare a minute to
Yeah,
rehearse.
no practice for me. Good luck, guys.
Can you rehearse without a singer? As a singy band, Zach,
Yeah.
is it possible to, I mean, it's more difficult, but like, what member of the band can you not do, like, can you do without, basically? Your band.
I mean, we've had to do without every member of the band. I'm probably the only member that they don't bother doing without.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had to do without, and definitely for practices, we've done
Yeah.
like every single iteration. I don't know. Maybe they're practicing right now. Maybe they do practice without me. I just don't know it.
They're like, finally. We can do our Liquid Tennyson project like Dream Theater does because their singers suck so bad. They're like, finally, we can just do our instrumental shit.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. I've been holding them back.
that
from
has to
making
be
better
that has
music.
to be canon now. And like, you have headphones on. There's no way you could even know if they were practicing.
Exactly. You got this bird installed to make it even harder to pay attention to anything else going on.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's wild. So yeah, it'd be fine. I mean, it'd be a bummer if Samantha had to leave, but she's so far she doesn't play anything.
Mm-hmm.
She only has sung. No, she was playing keys for Love Is
Yeah,
Love,
I swear to God, I remember her behind the keyboard, and I think maybe that's when Matt leaves. But I think that might be the role that she kind of takes over, and they become more of like a 4-piece again. So
Okay.
I mean, they're 4-piece now, but it's wait, are they?
They're
I'm
5.
counting. 5-piece.
Yeah.
Yes, 5 Peats. Cool.
3 boys and 2
I
girls.
told you this math was going to happen on this episode.
Hey,
So-
you delivered.
So in this, Sly is asking Matt if he can stay there, and Matt's like, I don't know, I got to run it by my dad. And I was thinking, I was like, I thought we said goodbye to the dad. How's this next thing gonna go? And then there he is again.
Yeah.
I think he's in one more episode, and it might be the Jenny episode where they play out of order, but we'll see. And I'm gonna try not to look it up and spoil it. I want to be surprised by Dick. You know.
Yeah. Same.
So we see Dick. We're in the kitchen.
Surprise.
And he says, he's like, you know, he didn't say Melody. He said Matt's mom is out of town.
Matt's
right?
mom's out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reasons, it's like Matt's mom's out of town, some other reason. And also, Sly, I just don't trust you.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust Sly either.
Yeah. Which is great. He shouldn't. No one should trust Sly.
He's creepy.
No one should ever trust Sly. And everyone in this show distrusts and trusts him and then distrusts him again in every episode.
Yeah.
Stop trusting him.
It's a problematic thing to start. I mean, he's getting them their gig at Sharkies, but as far as we know, the last information that we have at our disposal is that they're just getting burgers and onion rings for this Friday night residency.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he threw in that the band wouldn't have to take their gear away right away, too. Maybe that's in their rider. They get to keep it there.
Almost good. That's almost worth it.
They get to put the arcade machines in their garage while they're playing a show at Sharkies.
Have you ever had band members or managers or people that work with you that that are as problematic or problematic at all, like he is, to put it lightly, but you know, where we're like, hey, we can't let this member talk to fans because you can't trust him or he's going to creep him out, or
the answer is yes.
You've dealt with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is relatable.
Yeah.
All the Sly stuff is actually.
I had to take him aside one time and be like, hey, that fiddle player in the other band, she's not into you. Like, stop. She's not. So,
yeah.
You know, like, let's just have a good time.
At the time. Those only listening don't know what Peat, whether he confirmed or denied with any of his.
Yeah, that was awkward. That was just like, hey, this person's a person, and because it's a Sly thing. It was like he went up and he's like, "Can I suck on your toes?" And he got slapped. So, I have a question about this scene.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, good.
Yeah.
It didn't escalate.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Because
well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, because I heard about plenty of that happening to band members of mine, and you know, it's so if it doesn't reach me, it means it was like taken care of very quickly, like before it became a problem at all. So, hey, Pete, thanks for not being like Sly.
You're welcome. It's a very low
down
bar.
The Slides of the world.
It's a very low bar that I can hopscotch over. So
well, thanks
no worries.
for also doing what none of these other band members do, and actually being like, hey,
there's not even like a girl code for Tiffany to walk up and be like, Sam, no, like, been there, done that. Your predecessor also been there, done that. Don't get with Beavis. Just don't. Yeah. And I had a question. What is there a joke here that his grandma keeps calling him Beavis? Like, is that just a reference? Is that just, hey, here's what's going on at the time? Does he look like Beavis? I mean, his hair kind of does.
Get it.
But he's not.
But Beavis is blonde.
Butthead would have made a little, because he's got a coif and he's a brunette.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's like the idea of a grandma referencing Beavis and Butthead at this time, I guess, is funny. But I'll take it to the laughs per episode guy and ask him. Was it funny? Did you laugh?
I didn't laugh.
Did your knee make contact with your hand in a slapping motion?
I can't say that it did.
Okay, well, there it is. You
My
heard it there,
knees
folks.
remained unscathed through this episode.
So we're going to jump back to the kitchen. I guess Sly is able to stay at the house. He's wearing this chef hat. Did he bring this chef hat from home? Do you think? I know I'm overthinking this, but it's the silly chef wear ID hat that no actual chef wears. I truly believe that. It is all bullshit.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody. Okay.
He brought it from home. There's no way. I think the apron he maybe borrowed from Gale, but like that could have been a Garrison household. It's just a checkered, kind of like the red and white checkered tablecloth picnic.
Their date spot. Sure. I had another culinary question, if you'd indulge me. Sly is making some food. Tortellini winkellini, I think he called it, and
which sounds disgusting.
This sounds gross.
It sounds
phallic.
like it sounds like it's a
say it. Just say it.
It sounds like his wiener's at the bottom of the pot.
There it is.
You know, like go ahead, try some.
I think because his last name's Winkle, but it does sound gross.
Yeah.
So why is
any utensils?
Why is his last name Winkle anyway? Like, is it like the twinkle in his eye? Is that what they were going for? Like,
I don't know.
Sly is fine. That's a pun. He's Sly. He's gonna get cunning and fast.
Yeah, Sylvester Winkle.
Yeah. Okay. So my culinary question: he's not making any food for the other Garrisons because he's a dick. But then they're like, frozen pizza? And Dad's like, yeah. And then he goes to the microwave and sees shoes in there. And I literally, like, zoned out. And I don't know what the joke was. But I was thinking, like, the frozen pizza they took out, that was an oven pizza. Okay? Yes. Right? That's not the little deep dish microwave one. That's horse shit. Like, the one they had goes on a fucking pan in the oven, right? Most times it wouldn't even fit in a fucking microwave. And I'm demanding J. Anthony Frankie answer this question too, even though he wasn't in the scene.
Yeah, I wonder if it's easier to get a working or a convincingly workable microwave than it is to get an oven, and that their oven, because the joke is that Sly's got his shoes in this microwave because he broke the dryer and he was having to dry the shoes in the microwave. That joke could have worked in the oven. I wonder if their oven is not a real oven. Like, it's just a facade in this prop kitchen. And so they're like, we'll just do the microwave.
Did I miss why his shoes needed to get dried off?
He washed them.
He washed his shoes?
He washed his shoes.
You're supposed to do that?
I wash some of my shoes, but like canvas shoes.
Okay,
not
everyone's
shoes
gonna
like
think
you
I'm
had.
just like Stinky Feet Pete or something, but like I don't think I've ever washed my shoes.
Well, why do you keep calling yourself Stinky Feet Pete?
It's just because
people are gonna think that because
he keeps licking my toes.
Because you keep saying it. Because you have it. And you have stickers made and everything.
No, I wanted Brentley Gore to be hashtag not Stinky Feet Pete. I'm very specific about that.
I know it blew up too quickly. I'm sorry. It is unfortunate.
We went viral for the wrong reasons. We went fungal. So we're going to Sam's room. And
Jenny's old room, I guess.
Yes. And Sly creepily just starts massaging Sam. And it doesn't help. Like, it's already problematic. And then the audience starts whooping it up. Like, this is sexy or something.
I'm so mad at the audience. I'm so mad every time anyone is nice or encourages Sly. I'm so mad at it.
Like, I want these children to fuck. Like, whoop it up. They're a bunch of enablers.
Stop. And then he goes in for a kiss because she's like, "This is relaxing." With the shoulder rub. Well, I know it's gonna make you feel even better. Goes in for a kiss. Matt, just in time, walks in with the biggest bowl of ice cream I've seen.
Yeah,
and he's about to leave for movies.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the movies in a sec. But did you fucking notice? So Matt, this bowl of ice cream, I have a whole backstory. This bowl of ice cream, I think, played a bigger part. This is on the cutting room floor. This is another plot. Matt comes in with a bowl of ice cream. Sly takes it. He puts it on the computer, and he makes a show of like balancing it.
How precarious it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then Matt's like, we got to go to the movie, and he's like, no, I'm going to help Sam do that. He pretends to type fast. I don't give a shit. Whatever. The next scene, Sam goes to the movie. Whatever. We'll get back to it. The next scene, he's in his room typing on a typewriter. It's because I think the ice cream was supposed to spill on the computer, and that's why he's typing it. Right? Why else would that?
Absolutely. Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah, because I noticed that him setting it down and it looking precarious and it's barely. And I was like, oh, that's weird. When is something going to happen? And
there's nobody on earth that we can ask this question to and get an answer. That's just tripping me out. Like, even the writers would be like, I don't fucking remember this at all. We got to get our hands on like an old script of this.
Yeah. Like, was it too expensive to like pour ice cream into a real computer keyboard?
I think, okay, because you'd have to get like smoke and you'd have to have like a fire marshal there. And like, if we had John on again or something, like he would tell us like how this scene is probably supposed to be blocked and shot. Like, there would have to be a prop master that would like, from a blocked angle, tip the ice cream over, and you would see it spill, and then you would see some flash of lights like we did with the amp episode, and then you'd have some smoke. And then it would make sense that Sly's typing this on the typewriter because he fucked up the computer.
Yeah.
Because
do you think maybe they half-assed it and they just were like, we'll just have it plop and like land on the computer and then nothing really happens, but it was so it was so anticlimactic. They would just like
wait, you're saying that they just dumped the computer with ice cream, and when it didn't explode, they're like, well, we can't use that, and we only have one take.
Like they didn't plan for it to explode. And
no, they would need a prop master for that. And so I genuinely think
you don't think they would even try it without the sparks. You think if they would?
Yeah, no, because they need.
You don't think there's a version
comedy.
of this that they that they did it and it was stupid and they were like, let's just cut it. It's fine.
Yeah, George said earlier, this episode's like a fucking cartoon, and it is. So I think that was definitely probably the idea. And they're like, nobody's going to care that he's on the computer or the typewriter later, which we should talk about. We've never seen that angle in Matt's room, and we've never seen a goddamn typewriter. Okay? So
that's true.
He could have taken that typewriter anywhere, and he's typing a 10-page history paper. Sam kind of is just like, just do this for me since you're such a fast typer. It's a really dumb gag, but
yeah. And then she leaves him to his.
She leaves for the movies. Do you want to guess what movie that they went to see? I did look it up.
Ooh, October 9th.
This is our favorite game. October 9th, 1993. We guess what movie they went to see using no context clues. The last one maybe or maybe not had Christian Slater in it, but this one, these all came out before the episode date. Okay, so we have 5 movies in no particular order. Tell me what Matt and Sam went to see. They didn't say if they were with anybody, but I would assume so. Demolition Man.
Ooh.
Mr. Nanny. Cool Runnings. A Bronx Tale. And The Good Son. Those came out a week or two before the posted date. So,
oh man, I want it to be The Good Son.
I did too.
Because that movie's so weird. But I think it was. I think it was. I think it's Cool Runnings.
We're saying Matt.
Cool Runnings.
Matt picking the movie. It's fucking
Matt
Cool
would
Runnings.
Pick Cool Runnings, and Sam would be excited about that too. And
yeah. That's a great. Yeah. That's a great answer. Great answer.
It's great. John Candy is great.
I mean, it's so this list is so interesting because, like, I think as a kid, I thought I would think Mr. Nanny would be funny, and that's the one with Hulk Hogan, right? Right. Mr. Mom is the one with Michael Keaton, right? Mr.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan
Mr.
plays
Nanny?
a nanny, which is great.
So
as a kid that age, I think that would be hilarious, and I also would like Cool Runnings. I think I did make my parents take us to the theater for that. Now I would say something like Demolition Man is hilariously bad. The Good Son is like painfully bad. It's kind of hard to sit through, but it's iconically bad. And A Bronx Tale is just like a fucking phenomenal movie. So I like them all for like different reasons at different points of my life. But
for sure,
if it's Matt and Sam, totally. And if
I don't think they're going
Tiffany's
to like
mix,
a violent R-rated movie either, like Demolition Man
or Bronx Tale, yeah,
or Bronx Tale. Like I don't think Matt and Sam are going to see that. Okay. I think they're going to see a comedy. And well, I do want it to be The Good Son, but just because that movie is so
you love some Elijah Wood. I get it, man.
It's great.
Before we leave this scene in Sam's room, formerly Jenny's room, did you notice Sly's shirt in this scene? I was almost hoping you would do something like this.
Yes, that he had a shirt on with painted or printed suspenders.
Yes, it was a billowy shirt, and yes, great. It made me chuckle. Great. The closest to a laugh in the whole episode. I'll be honest.
I thought they were real suspenders for a second.
I had to look. Yeah,
the idea, and I was looking at different people to emulate, and I really never want to do Sly, even though he always has the best outfits. His fashion is incredible, and he's such a. I hate him, but
you're the inspiration, Sly.
There it is. But he, I was like, do I have suspenders like that? And then I was like, this little fucker, he's not even wearing suspenders. They're printed on, which was even better. I didn't have that. I didn't have a printed on suspender shirt.
Okay, well, get on Amazon. You can get one.
Here we go.
We'll both wear it.
I know. If there was more lead time, I usually watch it like the night before.
Is that so you're not in your car? You're not in your car anymore at work you're watching like the night before and taking notes?
Typically it's night before, but also sometimes it's in my car on my lunch break. It really depends on how the week goes.
So we record on Mondays, so like I'm thinking of you like on Sunday nights, like cuddling in bed with your partner and being like, look, babe, I know you want to get in the mood.
This is how we can do it.
Yeah. So we're going to go back to Matt's room. And speaking of like lovely cuddles, Matt's single bed, it's so adorable. Every single time I see it. Why do they do him so dirty? Like Jenny gets a full bed, you know, and Matt he's just in his little race car bed.
I know. And the whole thing, like, is this the scene?
This is the typewriter scene.
This is really the typewriter. Yeah. Okay, that's right. All right. I'm jumping ahead.
So this typewriter scene is tough. It's really hard to get to. It's just so fucking silly and cartoonish. And Sly's, he's just an asshole. He types one page of the paper. He sings a song. They sing a song together. Please don't make me talk about it anymore. And then he puts on the sounds of the rainforest. I guess the only thing close to a joke there is that like it's like a jungle and then animals start attacking each other. Okay.
Yeah, like, oh, this is what I sleep to is nature sounds. And then Matt's like, this isn't that bad. And then it gets violent and Sly's fast asleep. Mm-hmm. Matt can't sleep now. Ha 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 ha.
Matt's wind up for these jokes are always the worst. And I love Brentley Gore, and I think he's a great addition to California Dreams and our future board game together. But when he's winding up for this pitch of a joke like this, and the punchline's coming right after, he's like, Sly, this isn't so bad after all. I'm gonna get to sleep real fast. And then boom, you are not.
Yeah.
It's just a little predictable, and it would have been better if you were counting. That's all.
I think it's some of his more believable acting, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, some like
I disagree.
Well, he genuinely seems, in some of these lines, he genuinely seems pissed off at Sly that he's keeping him awake.
Do you think he didn't like Michael Caine, the actor?
I think maybe it's
like a
real.
Screech situation. Okay.
Yeah.
Where like,
I think
if anybody not in the know, everybody on the Saved by the Bell cast hated working with Dustin Diamond. He was just like a shit. And don't mean to trample on the man's grave, but like he did some also very sly Winkle Tortellini things.
It's true.
But I don't know. They all seem like friends, and I guess this is as good of an opportunity as any to talk about. This episode might air after, but the California Dreams have announced a reunion. 2 shows that they're doing in Los Angeles, California, on June 12th and June 14th. There's gonna be
At
a signing.
the original Sharkies.
I fucking wish it's at some hotel, I think.
In Sunset
It's at
Boulevard.
the Ramada Inn in the lobby. No, I don't know where it's at, but their video, you can see it. Their video declaring that this is happening was something, and you should definitely watch it. And
Yeah, they're
all I'll
doing the
say.
cute thing where they're
pretending they're on a real phone call.
a phone call, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, I got an idea. We should do a show." And then it's like, "Well, let me call so and so." And then it becomes like everybody's talking back and forth and like, "Where should we have it?" And they mention all these cities, and it's basically all the cities where they live, including Nashville, which
I
is
was
where
so
Brentley
open for
Gore
Nashville.
lives. And I'm wondering if they're testing these out to see. I mean, I think we're all wondering if they're testing these, like
I just was
the
not
New York
being
show
engorged
reunion
for a
that
second.
you saw. Welcome back. That's how I talked to Pete's boner.
Do you think that
I think they were testing it out. I think they were testing out the New York show that happened last year or January. December? I don't remember when they started.
It was October, because I saw it in October, and then I was like, Zach, we
That's
need to
right.
start a podcast now. And you're like, I will do it on November 1st. And that's when we started.
And that's when we started. That's right. And now they're doing California. And I think all of these other cities they mentioned, if it goes well, I would not be surprised if they try to do it. I think Brentley Gore, like, he's still active. He's making music. He references California Dreams often enough on his Instagram.
He sings their old songs on his Instagram.
Yeah.
He's fucking sang that John Waite song.
Exactly. He definitely wants to have a show here in Nashville with California Dreams. I don't know if the others do, but I'm saying this like it's speculatory. I've not spoken to him. We've not met. I don't know for certain, but just like based on how much he still loves the material and appears to love everybody on the show, he seemed excited to, like, he is Matt in so many ways.
Yes.
Like watching him, at least how he presents on
Everybody drive safe.
at least how he presents online, which, is all of a version of oneself.
Yes.
But it's pretty much exactly like
Okay.
it's not changed. So
listen.
I think he wants to. Anyway, Nashville
Zach,
might happen.
We're going to do a Zach Pact right now. Okay?
Here we go.
Wherever they go next, we got to go. Okay? This is not enough time for us to go to California together. But if they announce another one, and I think they're gearing up for a podcast. I think they're trying to take us out. I think if they all came to Nashville, we are getting all of them together for this board game. Even the ones that may or may not like us. I think this is doable. I really want to talk to you two both. Like this, there is no way that they haven't all talked about our podcast on a group chat or something. They at least have had to said, the characters of this show that we have been talking about for a season and a half almost have definitely referenced our podcast. Okay? And I want to meet them. I want to meet our maker. So if they go to Nashville, we are going down there. We should be going to these shows, Zach. Like, if people will love us or hate us at these shows. When I went there, I never fully got to do a video about it, but when I went there, I definitely saw some people, because they were wearing the hats of their podcast. The only other podcast that talked about this show talked about one-off episode, and I listened to it, and I didn't like it at all. But I was like, we can do better than that. But they were both at the show. And I was like, this show is made up of people who are obsessed with this show, good or bad. And we should be there networking. So we just don't have it in the budget to go to California on such short notice. But the next one, we're going to be prepared for. All right? I'm sorry. I'm talking way too long. But, like, I'm bringing the heat.
You're so excited. I know. I hope they do come to Nashville. I hope they do. Their CaliforniaDreamsBand.com is live now, so you can follow along and see what their journeys are, what journey is, where they next will dream.
Wow. This website, that's one Photoshop. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait.
I see their photo gallery. That's from the last show that I was at. The top of their photo gallery right there.
I don't know why it's not loading for me. It says this site can't be reached.
hit refresh. There you go.
It's still not letting me, but believe me,
maybe at this next one, because the one I was at, Jenny had to bail out last minute. So George says the three of us going on the site is crashing it. Oh, there's so much I want to talk about. It's one of the funniest things you've said. So
my turn. Get off so I can look at it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm off it now, so you can probably get on. No. Okay, while you look at it, I'm gonna go. So whatever. We're done with Matt's room. I didn't see the piano, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Okay?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
So we're gonna go to the garage, and I got a question. I don't want to victim blame Sam here, since she was just assaulted with massage, and maybe that's why. I mean, I want to think that that's why she's making Sly do all this work for her. Is she leading Sly on though? I'm not saying she's asking for it. I'm not. I'm just asking.
Sure.
Here. It's like she knows from the jump. Literally, when he bowed to her when they showed up, when she showed up in the series, she knows he's like a problematic kind of like creepy piece of shit.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the character, not the actor. Michael Caine is lovely. When I met him, thank you. Okay. And, but she should stop at this point. Like, and this has to be it. After this episode, we can't pretend that Sly is still into her, right? This has, please get this be over.
Yeah. It's been bad. It's been bad the last while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, because they've written her character as very naive,
Mm-hmm.
and like it just thinks that like she's just kind of going along with it, and like like when he's cooking, she's like, how can I repay you for cooking for me? And he's like, I'd love a big wet one. And she's like, oh, Sly, you're so funny. Like she's just like doesn't take his advances seriously.
Yeah.
You know, and like the shoulder rubs and stuff is just like, oh, that's nice. Like she's not creeped out by them because she doesn't see him as a threat.
Okay.
She doesn't take him seriously. And I think she should. I think she should. I think Tiffany should warn her. I think the whole band should, not just
Tiffany's
Tiffany.
she's like absent throughout this episode because of this fucking stupid B plot about her having a secret admirer. And honestly, don't even remember the gifts that she got. So I'm real sorry for people that wanted us to talk about that. So we're in Matt's room now. Because sorry.
Oh, well, they're gonna everybody's progressively
everyone's pissed
madder
so in the garage, everybody's pissed at Sly, and they're like, we gotta get him out of here. Basically, he stole one of Dick's papers and passed it off as Sam's. I mean, not a bad idea, because like, what do they know? But he spilled some food on the papers. I don't know, everyone's pissed at him. And Sly, for some reason, changes into PJs so he can start this other... Is this the third plot in this?
This is so goofy. It's him pretending to have some kind of migraine situation where he like has periodic seizures as well. And like, unless he's kept in a calm environment. So now everybody, instead of kicking him out, everybody is just like at his beck and call, treating him. And he's got like a gong and then a bell. And
why is that gong used for, other than this scene? Like, that's not even one you can use at a band setting. Yeah. It's the only other music instrument that we get this whole fucking episode. Fuck you.
Who does he use?
He calls Matt with it.
Okay. Yeah, and he's also taken over Matt's room. He's brought in that's definitely Sly's pillow. The leopard print pillow. That's a Sly edition. All of the bikini clad posters.
He put up his posters to be in the room for a couple days. That's psycho.
because there are like 5 of them, and I'm like, whoa, Matt, this is new. I'm noticing new posters. Like, this is Sly because
he's like Babe poster on the like the entrance wall. That's Sly's. Okay, wow.
I think the whole thing is because he makes Matt straighten up one of the
Laker girls.
The Laker girls. So that was, I think, I mean, we might see him more, but I think this definitely supposed to be Sly, just like taking over the room and putting up his posters. And maybe was another like scene they had planned but cut, where he's just like, hey, and just like moves in and brings all of his like way too much stuff.
Zach, can I be honest with you?
Okay.
I had a football cheerleader poster when I was growing up.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did. I also had a Pamela Anderson poster that my dad got me of her in her Baywatch outfit.
Cool dad.
No, I think he was just trying to make sure I wasn't queer.
Yeah, see how that worked out. It works every time.
I remember he got me the Pam Anderson one, and he got my brother Kathy Ireland poster. So, but then later came we were big Steelers fans, so it was a Steelers cheerleader. I don't even know if they had official cheerleaders the way that like the Cowboys did. Those were the very popular ones, but it was definitely a girl in a cheerleading outfit with a Steelers uniform or something. So
that's pretty exciting. Was it exciting for you?
I remember she was brunette. She had like big curly hair. She was doing a jump.
Nice.
It wasn't my favorite, but I was like, this is what boys do. This is what I do. this is what we do.
Here we are being boys.
And then if any of my friends came in, I was like, I need you to adjust that. It's stressing me out. Yeah, you made them
straighten out. You're like,
that's right.
This is. Oh man, that's great. I had some friends whose dads did that for them, so that they wouldn't turn out queer, and it worked so well.
Yeah.
No, we were kind of the opposite. So I probably would have thought I probably would have wanted to go to your house. You know what I mean? But yeah, like my mom would take the TV guides and like Sharpie in any cleavage that might exist.
No, what? How am I just hearing about this?
Yeah, what? It was just like just hiding all sense of anything.
Dude, do you have any of these still? That is fucking wild. Oh my god, I'm gonna totally do that for one of these episodes. I'm gonna get a still frame of them in bikinis and I'm gonna Sharpie it. That's gonna be our logo.
It can't be too much. Yeah.
Oh
I remember like when I got into comic books and stuff, I like didn't show like those were my comics,
Yeah.
And but that definitely
cleavage,
like
the cleavage was your own.
Exactly. They would see like drawings that I'd do and stuff. And I got into Spider-Man, and like Black Cat has excellent cleavage, as we know. And yeah, there was definitely a time where I like drew her, and then like my mom saw and she was like, hey, that's too much cleavage. You should fix that.
You were like,
I had to draw in. I kept some cleavage.
You drew in a blouse on her or something, or the cami secret?
No. I just kind of I raised the deep. The deep V was less deep.
Okay, you were like the kid. You were like young Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, who drew big-breasted women to masturbate to, and that's when he got caught by his mom.
That's all I had.
That's a very specific scene that I remember, but that's you. That's fucking bunks. I thought, like, my dad's a pastor, so he did some crazy stuff. This was like a huge, weird blind spot, basically. He didn't want us to be gay so bad that he would, like, get us a swimsuit issue from Sports Illustrated and let us look at that. Because that was okay. But, like, everything else was not good. The scene, specifically in Beetlejuice, where he's like, nice fucking model, honk.
Is this mine? Is this mine?
My dad...
Yours?
Like, I don't know what sad employee he called at the local video store to ask how to do this, but my dad dubbed over that part and put a scene of Babar in there. So, do you remember the show Babar?
Sorry, I think my internet cut out a little bit, but I think my mom cut in. I think my mom just censored this conversation.
Okay, so I'm sorry for any Patreon listeners that have to rehear this. I will edit this out. But so you know that scene in Beetlejuice, right? Where he's like, nice fucking model, and he grabs his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, all improvised, but like, great fucking scene, great movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, my parents didn't want me to see that, so they must have called some local video store with some stoner, and they talked them through how to do this, and they dubbed in a clip of Babar, the TV show about the fucking rich elephant family.
What?
And so whenever that scene was supposed to come up, there would be awful tracking on the videotape, and then this animation of Babar would come up that had no sound, and then it would come back to the scene. And
What? This is the version of Beetlejuice you grew up with?
yes. And so when we played Beetlejuice at one of your shows, I was reminded of this. Not like I could ever forget, but like have since watched that part. Yeah. They did that to a few movies. There was a movie called Mr. Boogedy that had...
Oh, I remember Mr. Boogedy.
Okay, so it had some kind of
what
seance
happened in there
scene.
that you couldn't see?
It had some kind of devil scene or something, and like they did the same thing, and it was like a old episode of Richie Rich, the TV show. So there is just swarf.
No context.
Yeah. So
Were these were bought VHSs, right? At the video store before you bought them?
Or taped off like HBO or TV or something like that.
Okay.
And they didn't want us to hear the language or something. So
okay, we did do a lot of recording off of television, so there would be a lot of many movies. I did not see the unedited version until I was an adult and didn't realize I didn't realize they weren't family friendly. A lot of movies aren't family friendly, Pete. I didn't know this growing up because I only grew up with the family friendly versions.
You know what I'm gonna do as you're sitting here with that? I'm gonna take a Sharpie and draw on the screen of your cleavage right now. I don't want to look at it. You can't move, okay?
I know.
So anyway, we got to move on. We're gonna go back to Matt's room. As an epileptic, I'm offended at Sly every time he has a seizure. Not cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, you gotta fold my laundry. And this is before he makes another move on Sam. And I'm like, how much does one fucking person, how much laundry can somebody acquire in like 2 days? But whatever. Okay. He tries to make a move on Sly again. And this is the time that Matt takes the doctor's note that Sly has been using as proof that he actually has this ailment. Yeah. And then we're going to jump to Sharkies. Matt has said he has checked it out. It seems all legit. And then Sam has come in saying, like, Sly, you know, I got a bad grade because Sly plagiarized the fucking paper. And then
Dick Garrison lost one of his papers that he was grading for his students. Mm-hmm. And it turns out Sly had stolen one of those papers and turned that in for Samantha. And we don't know what it was about. We don't know what grade Garrison Dick does.
I think he's college.
I thought it was college. So
I thought it was.
It's better. Maybe it's better.
I mean, is it just like write a history paper that is so random and broad? You write about any historical event ever, as long as it's 10 pages, I'll fucking read it. So it's possible there, but like one of the units could be Mesopotamia and the other one could be like the Holy Russian Empire. So like,
these are different times.
Get your shit together. Like that doesn't make any sense. But they find out in this scene that there's a crooked K or something like that, and they find out that this was typed on the same thing. Yeah,
exactly what you said.
So I'm taking a lot less notes at the end here because I'm just getting so annoyed. But
I got so tired of it.
I was like, why? I just had a question on my notes. It's like, why is Sly their friend? And I think you brushed on it earlier. Like, why is this man in your life? If he's not getting kick-ass shows, you know, he's literally being a monster, and you're letting him stay at your place. He's just maybe he is a sociopath. Maybe he just said it early on.
Yeah. like everyone, there are so many people in this band who are just as or more qualified to manage, and they could work together even to, you know, somebody picks up booking, somebody does the travel, you know, logistics, somebody does whatever. Like there's enough people that they could spread out his duties and do so much better.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, you're right.
They've all been super resourceful. Dennis could manage this band better.
But he's honestly like the best actor in the show. I do believe, and he pulls it off the best. Like he just leaned into that character really hard. That like, I don't find the jokes funny, but it has nothing to do with like his performance. Like I think it's just everybody else is him and Tony, I guess, are the most animated and fun to watch. But I guess the only time that Tony and Jake are really in this is the conclusion of this Big Bart secret admirer thing, and we see it's just the nerd.
Yeah,
and Tiff has a drink with him anyway. So there's really, it's so inconsequential, and it's just putters out, man.
Yeah, it's like a big guy comes in, and they're like, "That must be Big Bart," and then they talk to him, and then attack him and pull him out, and then the real Big Bart shows up, and the whole thing with Big Bart is he's like he can't rhyme, so all of his love notes like set up an easy rhyme, and it does something.
You're putting me to sleep just by rehashing.
I'm just I'm so annoyed with this.
Big Bart's not big. He's not even wearing a tie. He's wearing a bow tie. That's the joke.
It's a joke. But
Tiff is very nice. She's always so nice, and she's like, I will give you this. But he's like, I've been obsessed with you since kindergarten. We've never seen this fucking guy at any show. How obsessed could he be?
Guy? Yeah, not that obsessed. Also, they don't bring, like, there aren't that many people that can be at Sharkies. Like given the size of the room and what we don't see, I'm thinking maybe 100 people, but that's like if it's packed and
we've counted like 25 at best. There's no way.
Like I'm giving room for maybe some like
fire code violation 100 people.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, because we've played rooms similar to Sharkies.
Yeah,
that you can fit 100 people in there.
They're fun rooms. You got a room that's small and 100 people. Like that energy is way better than a 400 cat place.
Oh yeah, I love those places. But so anyway, even 100 people, if they're playing a bunch of shows, you're gonna notice the same guy in suspenders and a bow tie who's drooling over you. You're gonna notice him at some point.
I did notice about this actor, and maybe George can look him up, but like he was like a really good looking dude that they nerded up. Like he had just like this really nice jawline, and he had like great head of hair, and I'm like, did they just put this guy in a fucking bow tie and glasses and they're like, call it a day? But I'm like, this guy's good looking. I can tell.
Yeah, what is happening? And he's just kind of acting nerdy. He's like, postures.
He's got the nerd voice. He's like, he has his shoulders up high, which now that I did it, I'm like, I got glasses on now too. Am I a nerd? Did I start a California Dreams podcast?
You're a phony nerd. You're just like him.
So anyway, so they realize that Sly has made all this up, and they're gonna concoct this plan to get him back. The way that all these pranks play out are just like, we're gonna get him back at his own game. Zach just had a really long blink, and he's annoyed with it too. I get it. And so we're gonna go to the kitchen and finish.
Like if this prank doesn't result in Sly dying, I'm just not interested in it.
So what
this
what
is the practical joke we need.
What was the prank? They waited till he fell asleep and drew stuff on his face. Sly wakes up, screams. He has blue dots all over his face, and they're like, oh, you actually do have an affliction. But how did he get those blue dots on his face?
I guess they put it on him, or it was like, I don't know. They never explained it, because I'm like, is this some kind of like, they messed with his like acne cream or something?
George is right. This is ice cream on the computer. That's going to be our new catchphrase for when they fucking set something up and they do not follow through.
That's perfect. Exactly. No, that's again what. Yeah, this episode is full of these. Like I'm so glad this episode wasn't any longer, but
we only had 22 minutes, but fuck, it felt long.
But it felt long, and it felt like we were missing things. We were missing pieces.
So Sly is upset. He runs out, and they have a still frame. That's the end of the episode. But like, you're right. It's just it's not funny. But like, I really don't want this to be the last time I see Dick. So please.
Oh, it won't be.
Come back.
I hope.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a video of us while we were talking about the cleavage thing, and I'm gonna cut a scene of Babar into it. Like that is. I just realized how I'm gonna end this video.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway,
that is so elaborate.
Gentlemen, what did you think of the episode? George, what did you think? I have a general idea of what Zach thinks.
Zach is frozen. I don't know why. That's something he needs to resolve.
He looks so cool, though. Okay,
there we go. He's back. He was practicing his steady motion.
That's right. I was so cool. I was frozen, baby.
I didn't really like this episode much, but I'm glad you guys went into more detail for the listener who didn't want to watch the show, because.
Oh, fuck you, Onslaught. So George, George did look up the nerd, the dreamy nerd actor, and he's not credited. So
no, he's not.
Justice for Big Bart, like putting in a performance and then still getting shafted.
Right. And he did make Sly slap himself, so that's a pretty good performance.
Oh, true, good, yeah. And Sly did slap himself at one point too. Wait, was Bart in that first scene? No, was he? He was. Big Bart was. Oh.
Yeah, that was the one when Sly was talking to the girlfriend, and then she pointed back, and he was standing there.
Oh, that's not Big Bart. That's the fake Big Bart.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, is that who you looked up? I was talking about the nerd.
No. This episode on IMDb only has the main cast credited.
Neither Big Bart is credited. The fake one or the real one. That's wild. I did not make that connection that it was the same actor, and that would make sense that it was like.
You would think for continuity's sake they would put Big Bart in the crowd, like the actual Big Bart, because it's a fucking failure on the casting department. But I guess maybe it wasn't available both days. He was really in demand, for his modeling job. Exactly. Guys, let's give out some awards. Let's get back into this since we're all here. We're gonna give out the Tiffy, the Jenny, and the Tony still, even though Jenny's no longer with us. So,
in spirit,
yeah.
I want to give the Tony to Samantha for sure. Her performance in this was fantastic. I think probably the Jenny might be going.
He's got to go to Matt. Like he couldn't even count in the right microphone.
He didn't count, and he's got his hands up for part of it.
He does have his hands up. He's praising the Lord.
He's not playing it, but he's giving it hell, but not the keyboard.
Bringing thunder.
Yeah, and then I think I'm going to give the Tiffy to Dick Garrison, because he's only one who remains. Like, talk about being a good band member and someone you want to have in your corner. He's the only one who doesn't like Sly consistently through this episode, and good for him. No one should. No one should set their guard down.
He's the best 27-year-old they could ask for as a fake father. So good on them. I gotta agree with all those. Those are great points. I miss you, Melody, but Dad's holding down the fort.
That's right. What do you think, George?
I'll take your word for it.
George never has an opinion about the trophies.
I hate this game. It's
George says he has a backlog of all these trophies that we have to give people. Like, this is just stacking up money that we have to make. So we're gonna ask you, Zach, next episode. I need you to tell us what it's about, okay?
Are you ready for the title?
Yes, I'm
George is going to tell you the title, okay?
The title is The Sly. No, that's this episode. My bad.
Oh my God, I was about to throw something. It's not about Sly again, please.
No, it's not about Sly again. The next one is called Surfboards and Cycles.
Well, I bet bicycles are going to be involved, and I bet surfboards as well. I think. I hope maybe it's a Tiffany-centric, because she's into surfboards, and she's gonna meet a cyclist.
Lance Armstrong is
some hunky one testicled fella who loves to bike.
Cancer line asshole.
Yeah,
some blood doper.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I mean that's not correct, but good.
That's probably the closest you've gotten so far.
Well, thank you.
There's no bicycle. He was talking like legit bicycle. Like you're talking like bicycle shorts bicycle, right?
Yeah. What is it? A motorcycle? Okay,
when
but it's
Sly
the same.
decides to take home economics, the game gets into a debate over whether it's tougher, the typically female classes like home economics, or the typically male classes like mechanics. To prove that they can do it, the guys join Sly in baking cakes, while Tiffany decides to take shop alongside Jake. There, they begin to fall for each other, but worry that they're too different to make their romance last.
So no worry about the band.
I feel like this was a pretty obvious one, and I didn't get it. I feel embarrassed.
I think I'll give you a D plus for that.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Okay.
The surf, I got it right with the Tiffany thing. The cycle, of course, motorcycle, and there's a character who rides a motorcycle. Can we just edit it at one point where where I get it right?
Sorry. That's
know.
That's Sharpie on cleavage, baby. We don't do that here, all right?
Okay. Nah, that's fine. That's fine. This one was more obvious. It practically handed it to me.
Well, we still need to watch all these movies that these episodes are named after. The Spyro
the
came
player,
to dinner.
not the game.
Got it. Anyway.
Okay, well that sounds so it's like a battle of the sexes.
Yeah, another battle of the sexes. We had this happen in the first season, and now we're gonna get it again. I don't think this is gonna be the last of it either. I mean,
no, I think they're always battling. I mean, the women in this show are definitely always battling.
Yeah, Sly.
I mean, a classic plot like this. Why would you waste it? You got to do it at least once every episode.
This was done in Saved by the Bell. This is a carbon copy episode where like they switch roles. And Zach, you haven't been to high school, but I just want to reiterate in case you're worried, you can't just switch classes like that in the middle because you had a bet with your friends. So this does mean after 5 episodes of no school or 4 episodes of no school, we're going to see a school again. That's what I'm hearing.
Maybe they were on their
second
fall
time
break.
we'll see a school.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I'm excited to go back to school. School's a drag. You know, kids, you can quit whenever you want. For all the 17-year-olds that are listening, don't finish. Anyway, I want to thank you both for coming back. This has been a lot of fun. This has been episode, we think 5. The episode order might be a little out where you're at, but Surfboards and Cycles is the next episode that we're doing. So please follow along on YouTube. Watch it, unless you're our one fan that does not watch any of the episodes. And write us at surfboardsandcycles.com at surfdudeswithattitude@gmail.com and go to californiadreamspodcast.com to support us on the show. We really appreciate everybody that's there already.
Thank you very much. Seriously.
Thank you, everyone. Patrons, please hang around for the after show, and we'll see you all next week.
Hey, until next week, everybody drive safe. That's going to be my catchphrase from now on. I just
That's
decided.
great. I love it.
It works. So, what, as being in a band, what do you do with the staff member that is just like blatantly hitting on the audience? Like, what do you do with someone?
A staff member? A staff
No,
member
I mean,
of your band?
it might not be a musician. It might be, you know, someone who's helping you sell merch. It might be a manager. What do you do with someone who's part of your organization that is making it uncomfortable for the audience?
I mean, we've had to work with certain people over the years. Some have been hired, and we've had a lot of fill-in, like drummers, for instance. And some of them are just like not as cool as the other ones. But we try to typically keep people in our orbit that are like good people, because when they're out there, they're representing your band and your brand.
Right.
And so what do? You try, like I explained earlier with Zach, like I just had to take this person out of the equation, without making it weirder than it already was. So at one point we had a driver that had kind of like a nervous breakdown at the end of the road one time. And like it was the last show and he was going through some stuff. And I was like, dude, like he was like throwing shit and just like slamming doors and all that. And like everybody was like, and it was like after a long tour and we were playing this like outdoor festival and it was real hot. And I was like, I just kind of was like brought him to this. I was like, dude, you need to get your shit together, And he was like, he's such a nice guy, but he was just beside himself and he was just going through something. I was like, we can talk about this later. Like, but you can't unravel like this. Like everybody's watching and like just get through this last one. And then after that, he snapped out of it and like went into like game mode, and apologized profusely and all that. But like it was. Sometimes it happens, like the road can kind of bring that out in people, but even just like a normal show, like sometimes you hire people that live in the city to like do merch for you. And I had one person that was just like, just kind of like hitting on anybody he possibly could. And I'm like, dude, just sell the merch. Like we want people to come to the table, right. not be repelled against it like the fucking North and South magnet, Wait, is that how magnets work? How do magnets work? Our opposite ends. Fuck.
Yeah, it's whoever is speaking to the public is representing the band. So, if they're being respectful and reading the room, mm-hmm. And if it's not getting in the way of doing their job, what they do outside of that, if they're hitting on people and it is mutual and enjoyed, that is fine. If any kind of creeping that goes on, that's a hard no. This stuff that Slide does, this would be an instant firing, as soon as someone slaps you because of something you said, and it would take far less than being slapped, but or harassing people in the band. Crushes happen within the band. That's absolutely happened. And it's like, okay, check in with everybody involved, or like we're adults you, but as soon as
don't fuck the band up.
Yeah. Like continue being able to do your job and show up,
Right. How do you treat dedications? Is that something that you do often? Who do you dedicate songs to? Like, in this one, Sam dedicates a song to Sly, which starts, the rest of the episode. But do you guys generally dedicate songs to other people while you're performing?
I love to dedicate songs to anything and anyone in the room. Like I might dedicate
a little flirtatious about it.
Yeah, I might dedicate like the next song to someone's hat, or like like I'll just people get dedications pretty frequent. I throw them out. I'm just giving them away. They always mean something.
I think they lose any kind of meaning because you're just throwing so many out.
No, they mean so much to me. I just have so much to give. It's not a pie. My love is not a pie.
It's so flippant after a while, but it's like, dedicate this to the bartender. Why don't you tip them and the other band? Yeah. Like we'll play a band with or a show with like 4 other bands, and I'm like, if I dedicate one to one, I have to dedicate one of these songs to all of them.
Why not?
There's no reason why not. But again, it loses its luster if everybody's getting one. But
I don't think so. I don't know.
If you would like Zach to dedicate a song to you,
that's pretty much. I didn't get one.
He's at gmail.com.
He literally gives it to everybody else. I didn't get one. We played many shows together.
Wait, I've never dedicated a song to you.
I don't. No, I would definitely remember. I would internalize that moment forever. So
what? Well, maybe when you're not there.
That doesn't count.
I'm
I
like,
need
hey,
it.
I got a really good friend named Peat in this really
We need
cool
to do a
band.
tour together when Surf Dudes with Attitude gets big, and we can actually bring both of our bands to these live shows.
Yeah.
Every single song
And
we'll
we're
just
opening
dedicate
for
to
the
each
real
other.
California Dream.
I was gonna say when we get
Why have
your
they
bands
doing
to
that?
open for California Dreams.
You Bred Raptors.
If they were
Fable
smart,
Cry and the California Dreams on tour.
dude, we would get because it's our luck. They'll be like, actually, you're gonna go last. And everybody's gonna leave right after the California Dreams.
You guys are going on at 11 p.m.
California Dreams would ask for the tour sandwich spot. They would ask for the cushy middle,
They
after
would.
a local support.
It'd be Fable Cry opening and You Bred Raptors closing.
That sucks, man. That is what
We'd
would
alternate.
happen.
We'd probably alternate.
Oh my god! Imagine that would be in their rider. We went on a tour together. Their tour that they're like that you've now inceptioned into my brain. I'm like, oh fuck! It's gonna be like the Miami Connection, where they're like, we're gonna go to each country and we're gonna set up Taekwondo shops.
That's right.
So that's what California Dreams. They're gonna just like, well, we're gonna go to our hometown and my hometown and whatever. But like,
What is the Miami Connection?
oh, what? We're not supposed to talk about it because we didn't put it out.
No, I'm just what is the Miami Connection? I've never heard of this thing before.
The Miami Connection, it's the cocaine passageway from Orlando to Miami, apparently.
Okay.
So maybe sometime the lost episode of Miami Connection will come out on Surf Dudes with Attitude, but
Is that never coming out? I think I missed that.
we're pushing it back. We'll see.
Yeah, I can see how it might be pushed back. Because it was too good.
It's too good. You guys wouldn't get it.
Have either of you ever had someone stalk a band member?
What? A band member. No,
Because like
we've had-
in this episode, Tiffany, got stalked again.
No, okay. So I will say that our cellist, she has some real like friendly fans, and like, they're all been super cool. They're like, we have like mega fans who like show up to like every show, and they really like us. That's not a stalking. That's just like a super fan.
Right.
But we did have some people, like every time I would play a certain place on tour, I'd have the same person like staring at my board, like right in front of me, and it didn't look like they were enjoying the set at all, but they were like staring, And I'm
So
like, are you
they're
gonna
just
ask-
trying to figure out how to be you.
I don't know who would want that, but like I kept thinking they were going to ask me about my board, and they would ask like some crazy specific question that I didn't know the answer to, and then they would like not get any merch ever. And I'm like, why do you come see us, sir? So
Wow.
I would
He's
say they
trying to
stalked
figure out
us.
your sound so he can copy you and replace you.
I mean, please,
Probably.
I need a night off. Please do it.
He's just showing up like one night he has a beard now, and the next night he's got a beanie. The next night it's just like gradually morphing into you.
That's why I'm wearing these glasses to disguise myself. So
This is the next transition.
the transition
minute.
lenses, yeah.
Wait a minute, it's been you the whole time.
Zach, how about you? Any stalkers?
I think, yeah, none that I would consider full on stalkers either. I think, yeah, we've had some very enthusiastic fans that come to see certain members of the show of the band for sure, that were like a little bit like, yeah, like nothing's been weird, but also like maybe we walk you to your car. You know what I mean? Like, like just as like, which I mean is probably
Your fault because you dedicated songs to them? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
it's probably because I dedicated it to.
Every single song you can't dedicate to the same person. Of course, they're going to take that the wrong way.
Oh, no,
Really? You
but it
dedicated
became
a song
bit.
to me?
Of course. 3 times in a row.
I've definitely dedicated a song to myself. I was like, I dedicate this to myself because I wrote this song, and like nobody got the joke, and they just thought I was being like a narcissist.
Oh man. Somebody got the joke. I
I
bet
hope
one
so.
person got the joke, and they're like, damn,
creepy
that
guy in the
was
front
hilarious.
row, the pedal guy got my joke.
Exactly. That tiny shift in his eyes where he looked up from his pedal
I just saw
board.
he brought up like a legal pad and just
it.
wrote that down. He's like, that's why I got to do that. It's my next thing to emulate.
So what do you do when you're performing and you're worried about a band member's safety?
Oh, I mean, luckily that has not happened so much. I do remember playing a show with a friend's band in Baltimore at a video game convention, and there was some guy in the crowd. My friend's band was up on stage, and this guy in the crowd was just getting... And it wasn't even a video game convention. It was like a video game trade show. And this dude was just like, fuck you. Like, he was so mad at the lead guitar player. It's our friend JD from a lot of bands in Baltimore, and like the guy's like, I'm gonna fight you right now. Like, get off the stage, and I'm gonna fight you. And my friend's like, JD. He's like, I'm playing DuckTales up here. Like, let me just play DuckTales, you know. And I was like worried. I was trying to gather friends. I was like, yo, if this guy jumps him, like, we got to do something. I don't know what we're gonna do. But I mean, I almost got punched by that one guy at that festival I played. I told on the podcast earlier. So everybody else has been sort of cool. I mean, we're luckily not getting heckled too bad these days.
That's nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really had too much of that. Like safety. Yeah.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah, I can't even tell if he's just thinking longingly or his thing craps out.
It's a really serious question. That's sorry. We just
crapped out, but I could hear you the whole time, and it was great.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we have had, and this is why I wouldn't call it a stalker, is because it was like a one-off shows that it's happened where we've had like creepy guys, definitely. So definitely like leering at female members of the band. None that we've had to do more than just like intervene, you know, like if they're having a conversation, get in the middle of the conversation and kind of take over it while the other person leaves, and then kind of end it. Like, nothing's been so overt, fortunately, that we've had to really confront anybody about it, but just kind of like,
I think you probably have
go
the same
over
thing
here now.
That we do is like you've probably done this where like a female member of your band is getting like hit on like aggressively, and you're just like, hey, like we gotta pack up. Like, do you want to like help me grab this? And it's just like an easy out, you know. Yeah. And inevitably they might ask like, do you need help? You know, and we're like, no,
right,
we're good.
No, we're good, man.
Thank you. So, I mean, but you do that to any friend that's at a bar. But I mean, they are very autonomous, and they are way better at handling getting away from a situation like that, because unfortunately they deal with it too much, you know.
Right.
But my cellist Tara, she's so nice, and she'll let, even if somebody's not being creepy, they're just like annoying. They'll just talk forever at her, and she's just so kind, and she like will let it go on way too long.
So, there's little subtle like communications that I've learned with the band members of, you know, like Pete said, like they're very capable. It's not a need. You don't want to do what like Tony and Jake like did without Tiffany asking of like, I'm going to be your bodyguard. But it's sort of like hey, you want like, it's a subtle look of like, hey, you good? Is this conversation fun? Are you? Is this mutual? Or are you having to be friendly? You don't want to be.
I'm doing a check-in. Here's a bulletin board. Are you good?
Yeah, like behind him. Yeah, with just like
there's an applause sign.
Point to it.
So we don't talk too much about current stuff because we don't like to date the episode or anything. But this one's a pretty big deal. Did you guys hear Steve Albini died?
Yeah,
it was a bummer. I mean, I heard,
a huge bummer.
He's iconic producer, but I only ever heard how like difficult he was to like kind of work with in the sense that like he was just very abrasive, and if you weren't on his good side, you were kind of dead to him. But like, fuck, that man made some great albums. Like,
I mean, he was difficult to work with if you were a heroin addict and you were trying to score drugs while recording.
Even then, he made it work.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with a bunch of his work, obviously, and then some interviews, and I don't know, I enjoy his and I've seen a bunch because they've been floating around more recently now too,
Sure,
because
yeah.
of his passing. But like just his approach and thought about music and his kind of doing it for the art of it, and you know, kind of shitting on music as a capitalist way to make a living, being kind of bullshit and sucking the life out of it.
I mean, what he did was such a rare thing. Like, he wanted the recorded material to sound like the band.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
so
novel
uncommon. Yeah.
Well, I think he did In Utero, right?
Yes.
Right. So, like, I remember they specifically went to him because they're like, yeah, Nevermind was big, but like it sounds too polished. We need some of your dirt on it, basically. And like that album, fucking Senseless Apprentice.
Nevermind was great. I won't talk shit on Butch Vig. I think he did a great job with that album. But I mean, when Nirvana wanted a less polished album, they wanted to sound more like their natural sound, and Steve Albini was a good choice.
Dude, but just like the ending, like Radio Friendly Unit Shifter was just a big fuck you. It was just the grossest song, and then like Endless Nameless being the secret song was even more like
that. Was on In Utero.
Oh, right.
On Nevermind. Sorry.
Yeah. But like that, it's just such a way to end an album, and it's just like you guys like that polish out, you like that catch, you like that hook. Well, fuck you. Here's feedback constantly. Yeah, and it's just the drum intro of that album is just so filthy, and it's so good.
Yeah,
and it was just like it took somebody with balls to be like, I'm doing this. This is how it's going to sound. This is the order of the album too, which I know he usually had a lot of say in like the order of these songs, and like good on him. Like you need people like that, and it's very rare these days.
Yeah. I just wanted your guys' take on it. I mean, obviously it's a bummer, and I mean that was a guy that anyone could afford because he just had a rate and that was it. He didn't try to price himself out of anyone's range.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't take residuals for most or anything that I was aware of. Yeah, because he, didn't thought that was ridiculous that anyone should make money off of
forever a band forever. Yeah,
just all analog on that big fucking board too. Like, you know, rest easy, big guy, big Bart.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was fun talking to you, and we'll see everyone next week.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, George, and thank you, Pete, and thank you, everyone who's listened. You're nice and handsome, and this song goes out to you.
Oh, that makes my posture erect.
Oh.
This has been a Waning Moon production.